Stations, please. Rolling action.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Director's Cut. My name is Marco, and I'm joined here with Bill.
Hello.
Bill Wynn.
I wouldn't rather
You don't want me to
reveal that information.
You don't want me to say your last
No,
name?
it's okay. I'm just kidding.
All right, and also with us is a new member to the English Pod team, Jay.
Hello.
And Jay is working with us now, and she's originally from Canada. Whereabouts from Canada are you from?
From the East Coast.
The East Coast, all right?
Canada.
East Side.
Hey.
All right, and on this edition of Director's Cut, we're going to talk about the movie Watchmen.
Yes.
Have you seen that movie?
I have. Well, I have seen it.
Did you like it?
I really did like it.
Why?
Geez, that's a pretty open-ended question for the beginning of the show. I can't even really remember what happened. I liked it because the alternate reality aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
You know, I think it had more of a science fiction kind of feel to it than most comic book movies. I know that I haven't read the comic book first, to let everybody know.
Right.
But I know the comic book is like a cult favorite.
All right, so you have this movie that's set in the United States, and you have this league of superheroes that was formed a while back, like in the 50s, right, or something like that?
Yeah.
And
right. Well, it's like an alternate universe.
Reality.
Yeah.
Because in this reality that Watchmen is set in, like Nixon continued on for a second term in as president.
Right.
They lost the Vietnam War, or they won. I don't know what happened.
They did win because Mr. God, see, I can't remember. Sorry, I can't even remember his name.
Who? Oh, Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan, right? Yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan.
Because he joined the war.
Exactly.
And so they won.
Right.
They won in Vietnam, and it ushered in like a lot of popularity for Nixon. The story is the good part about them. It's one of the the really strong points about the movie because behind the story there's a whole comic book series.
Right. It's based on a comic book. All right, Jay, you've also seen the movie, right?
I have.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Did you understand it? Did you see the comic beforehand, or was it the first time you were exposed to it?
Yeah, it was the first time I was exposed to it. I didn't know that it was a comic beforehand.
Until now?
And well, I saw it the first time and I was like, I have no idea what just happened. And so I watched it a second time and understood it quite a bit better.
You watched it twice.
I did.
Yeah, I've heard that you should watch that movie twice
Yeah.
to kind of understand it better.
I watched the second half of it twice.
All right, so basically you have this group of superheroes that were formed a while back, and then as they get older, they kind of just become regular civilians because people start kind of complaining about the superheroes helping out society and saying that they should just let the police do the work because I think they were like causing more harm than good, right?
Well, yeah, that's one of the really interesting parts of the story is that it's kind of one of the only comic books that portrays heroes in a real human kind of light. Like all of the heroes in the Watchmen series have are they're either psychotic like Rorschach. I mean, his name even is Rorschach. I mean, so it has a lot of mental institution connotations. Or they just have a lot of flaws. Mm-hmm. So it's
because they're people in the end. They're not really like aliens,
right, and even the very
human beings.
Right, and then even in the very end, it deals a lot with human philosophy and giving up, and trading off a lot of people's lives for supposed benefit. I mean, it's not a perfect universe, which is nice to see in a movie because it's actually maybe closer to reality than others.
And the movie did well. What was your favorite character?
Man, I mean, I think I like Joker a lot.
Joker?
Wait, is his name Joker? Even the comedian.
Oh, the comedian.
Yeah.
The comedian.
I feel like I'm just doing such an injustice to this movie.
You are.
Because I watched it, and then there's a huge cult following. I've never even read the comic book, but yeah, Joker is
the comedian.
The comedian is good.
All right. What about you, Jay? Did you have like a favorite superhero of that movie?
Yeah, well, my favorite was I'm definitely not saying his name right, but Rorschach?
Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Isn't it Rorschach?
Rorschach.
It's like the Rorschach test.
Rorschach or Rorschach?
Rorschach, I don't know, but it's based on that test, isn't it?
Right, because his
his mask keeps on changing, like it's the ink blot test.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of disfigured or something under it. So when they took off his mask, I was like, oh, he's just a normal guy.
He's just like a little skinny Irish guy.
Yeah, he was. Definitely, I think my favorite was Dr. Manhattan because he was like the most almighty powerful.
So obvious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was cool because the guy was not only freakishly strong and like amazing, but he was also very, very intelligent.
Right.
So, and he was doing a lot of experiments and a lot of things for humans. But of course, the interesting part was that he was like a physicist, right? And as in many cases throughout history, he was being used by the U.S. government to build like weapons and prototypes of things.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
To help the defense.
Yeah, the military-industrial complex at work.
Yeah, exactly. So it was an interesting movie.
I guess the military-industrial, now educational complex.
Yeah. In the movie also, the ending was different from the comic book ending.
Really?
From what I understand.
Really?
Oh, really?
So yeah, I guess a lot of the people who were following the movie, or like the cult of the people that actually follow the comic book, weren't really pleased with the ending, from what I understand. Yeah. What was the guy's name? The millionaire guy. The pretty boy.
I can't remember his name.
Do you remember his name?
Oh, no.
You don't remember his name?
It's like Braden something. I don't know. They call him by his full name in the movie.
Oh, you know what I kind of didn't like was
he doesn't have like a superhero.
Was the owl guy, Night Owl?
Yeah.
I didn't really like
Why
him.
not? He's such a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, but it was like a copy of Batman.
Oh, you mean his costume
and
design
his
and
airplane and everything.
Yeah.
It was kind of lame, I think.
Right. I mean, he's kind of like the ineffectual. I mean, maybe that's part of his character, because that guy was kind of vapid, you know? I mean, it was like, you expect most super, like all of them have flaws, so maybe his flaw is that he's just like a boring guy.
But but he was the one that started kind of won over the really hot superhero girl in that movie.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Sometimes girls go for those types of guys.
Is that your case, Bill?
Of course.
Yeah. All right, so
vapid, boring, ineffectual.
That's you.
Yep.
All right. So overall, you would recommend the movie? You would recommend somebody to watch it?
I would, and I would recommend. I would recommend that you, like Jay said earlier. Maybe she didn't know. I didn't know anything about it either beforehand. But it's a movie that maybe you should read up about a little bit. Maybe if you're into comics, you should maybe read the comic first and then watch the movie, or the other way around. But I think it's definitely worth a watch, because it's a good story, and I think it's important.
All right. What about you, Jay? Would you recommend it? Did you watch it with friends, by yourself?
The first time I watched it with friends, and then the second time around I watched it by myself. But yeah, it definitely makes you think.
All right, cool. All right, very good. The next show that we're going to have is about a freaky, crazy, scary movie that I watched recently, Paranormal Activity.
Oh, I heard about that.
So be sure to get prepared for that one, because we're talking about that one next week.
Scary.
It's very scary.
You can't get enough of Halloween, man.
I can. Especially with this movie. This movie was really cool. It's also independent, and it's an independent film, so it makes it a little bit more interesting as well. All right, so if you have any questions, any doubts, you can go on the website. Let's listen, before we say goodbye, to a small clip from the movie Watchmen.
To the intrinsic field center, I find my watch.
All right, we're back. So that was a small clip with Dr. Manhattan. His voice is really awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Marco. That guy's pretty awesome.
Do you know what the symbol on his chest represents?
No.
It's a hydrogen atom.
Oh. Yes, he is the power.
He's
the atomic power man.
He's the atomic power man. Kind of.
He's like a godlike figure. It's pretty...
He is. He can change forms. He can like transport himself. He can sleep on Mars and be
And then
all
what's his fault then? I mean, I guess we're talking about all the different faults.
That he's lost the sensitivity of the human touch.
Ah, right.
He's insensitive.
Right.
He's become very cold.
Yeah, he's cold to humanity.
Yeah. Because he's almost not human anymore.
I'm going to be that guy for next Halloween.
All right, guys. So that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to come to the website, englishpod.com, and we'll see you guys there.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.